And touching base on like your childhood and your basketball in the childhood, what was life like as a young lad growing up and in the world of sport? Like, were you playing other sports or was basketball the main focus?
Basketball I was indoctrinated pretty early because of Dad, so I didn't have many options.
Yeah, we'd have to get him on and talk about basketball.
True. He's had plenty of experience.
Who's he go for?
He doesn't. He used to love the Spurs.
Yeah. Now
he doesn't really watch it. He's a busy man.
Yeah.
And he's got other hobbies like fishing these days.
Yeah. We'll be
talking
about fishing a bit. It's good.
I can talk about fishing all day.
Yeah, so was it just basketball for you?
Yeah, so it was until I was, I think, under 12s. I played for Drysey in footy.
Oh, yeah.
So
were you a ruckman? Were you tall back in the day?
No, I was tallish, but I played wing.
Oh, same.
Yeah, so I loved it. Like the first... Footy is so different to basketball, and you've just got all this space.
Yeah, I know. Oh, tell me about it.
Like, so at the start, like in a basketball game, you've got places to run and try and read the defense and try and get to the right place. Footy's just like you just run around
and it's free.
Correct.
Free.
So like when I'm on the wing and the ball's on the other wing, I'd be like, do I just stay on the wing? Do I go to the middle? And my coach would be like, just go for the ball, mate. Like, what are you doing?
And this is like I played today and I was on the wing. And yeah, the amount of space you get, because sometimes, like when you're playing on players that are new to the game, I guess they sort of get lost, and you get this so much space. But again, obviously compared to basketball, it's a lot bigger, and so there is a lot of space. And I could talk about footy for ages, but yeah. So you were a winger.
Yeah, so I was a winger. I think I played flank for a bit as well.
Yeah,
but. So that year, and so I started to pick the game up.
Yeah.
Maybe halfway through something. I played a bit of twos and stuff as well, but I think mostly ones. And I remember I got a few votes one game and kicked a goal or two.
Yeah. So you were pretty handy at the sport.
And so, it started, and I think I was kind of naturally athletic.
Yeah.
And so once I worked out the game, I think I got put in the middle one game.
Yeah.
And I started to work it out and get a few touches.
Were you basketball part of your life at that time as well?
So parents kind of went, you either play rep basketball, so like Friday nights, or you play footy. And so I played footy on the weekends and then basketball just social during the week.
Yeah.
Played for 1 year.
Who was rep basketball playing for? What teams?
I played 1 or 2 years for Ballerine Storm.
Oh,
and then went and played footy.
Yeah.
And then after that season came back.
Yeah.
But the annoying thing is, during that footy season, I broke my arm doing something dumb.
What did you do?
Outside the game. I jumped off a hill and we were at the Drysdale Park.
Yes.
You know the massive hill near the netball court?
Yeah, I do.
People were sliding down that, I think on, I don't know if it's cardboard or whatever, or just on their back, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I just decided to do the same, jump down the hill
broke
and
your arm.
just
how long
was
it like broken in half?
It was
fully?
it was like a dislocation break.
So
it was real good.
So did you go to hospital?
Yeah.
And they
ambulance and
put
everything
it back in place. So
I'm sorry, I missed the rest of the season. We made
ya?
the granny and we won.
Oh, I was literally about to ask you if there was any success in your footy career. There would have been had you not broke your arm.
On the bench.
Oh, that's terrible. I haven't won a flag and I've been playing the game for ages, and you know, like that must absolutely suck.
So it was pretty frustrating.
Yeah,
I think it maybe reinforced to go back to basketball as well.
Yeah,
I don't
true.
know. I just missed the game too much.
Yeah. What was the most challenging part about learning basketball, like as a kid?
That's a good question. When I joined this Ballerine Storm in under, it must have been under 12s or 14s or something like that.
Yep.
I don't know. I think I just had to. I was kind of taller at that stage, so I had to work out the speed of the game, how to read the game.
Yeah.
And I think early on, I had to play really hard.
Okay.
And just hustle and just like I wasn't very skilled at anything at that stage.
Right.
I think.
So it was just about building it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you like? Were you pretty dominant in your early years? Like,
no,
you weren't really.
Not really.
Yeah.
So this is one of the really interesting things that I found through my juniors going into.
Yeah.
You know, your under 18s and then higher. Is that I was playing twos for most of my juniors, and yeah, I don't know. I think I was probably one of the better players in the twos, but I was never good enough to make ones for a little while.
Yeah. Did you always have a desire? Like, did you always want to take it to a high level? Or
I think I just loved the game.
Yeah. And that sort of took your place.
And it kind of took, and then I grew. Like, I think when I was maybe 12, I actually wasn't that tall. I was shorter and rounder, and then and ate a lot. And then the next year, I just grew like a couple of inches,
and you started to thin out,
and then started to thin out, started to get a bit taller, and I think my skills caught up a bit with my height. And so a few years there, when I started to grow and understand how I could play, things started to tick over.
Yeah, like when did you get your first big break in basketball and started to take off? Like, and how did things change?
I think, like under 16s probably started to enjoy. I was playing with great mates at the time, like on Friday nights and stuff. And so you travel up to Melbourne and everything.
Right. And what club was this one for?
This was still Ballarat Storm.
Storm, yep.
So I played till under 18s, under 20s with Storm. And we made the semi-final that year.
Yeah, okay.
Or did we make the granny? Yeah, I think we made... under 16s, I don't think we made finals, but my game was starting to progress. And then under 18s, we got a new coach. It was really good. And we made it to the granny and we lost. But I remember my coach after that game was like, you're someone I could see going to college. And,
wow.
You know.
How'd you respond
I don't know if it was after that game, but it was during that season.
How'd you respond to that? Because I bet, did that even flash your mind? Like, did those sort of comments or like idea of...
I think it was around that time
where you started to realise you're starting to get better. You could take it.
Probably the last year or two, I've started to see how I can play, and I was athletic enough so I could get to the ring and I could do different things. I couldn't shoot. Like, I didn't really have a 3-point shot, but I could start to do things on the court and get to places where maybe other guys couldn't, just because I was a bit taller and a bit quicker. Yeah,
so it was just like a process year after year getting better and better.
Yeah, there definitely wasn't a big I never made a state team.
Yeah.
I didn't go because when you're in Drysdale and you play Ballarat Storm, you sometimes go to Geelong Supercats as a junior because that's where you try and make